Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. I'm the Gray Strega, and I'm here to give you your daily collective read for today, Friday, April 28th, 2023. What do we have coming through in the cards for today? Can I please have the first card in our 5-card spread? First card we are starting with today is Four of Wands in its reversal. Guys, we are in the midst of the retrograde. We'll be going on till about the 14th of May. As we know, travel, communications, plannings, and sometimes hit some blockages, particularly during this time. So this is some situations or circumstances that you may have to deal with today as it relates to planning, maybe even some frustrations coming up as it relates to the plans that you have in store, the plans that you're trying to make right now. But as we point out, the retrograde is a gift. It is an opportunity to allow for some slowdown so that there can be some assessment and realignment to make sure that the things that you're planning are the things that you ideally are truly getting you to where you want to go and what you want to do. Keeping that in mind right now. Next card we have coming through in our 5-card spread today. Let's get some clarity on this Four of Wands energy and its reversal that we're seeing. Hermit. So what is some of the issue right now that we're seeing around the plans? Well, some of the issues you're experiencing right now around the plans could simply be around the fact that you don't really feel like going anywhere or doing anything. We do see here, though, that there is something beautiful at work here, because this is a beautiful example of situations or circumstances that lead us to have some of these retrograde moments. Because while we are at this place where we're seeing right now that you're feeling some of this frustration, you're feeling some of this confoundedness as it relates to plans, you're maybe even feeling some plans are breaking around you right now, it is creating an opportunity or space for you to get back in touch with yourself. We see here with this Hermit energy that there's something here about building a deeper appreciation for that period of isolation that you're able to create for yourself, finding some deeper insight, finding some deeper experiences in this art of solitude that you're learning to cultivate in and around yourself at this moment. So while we may be seeing some of these issues coming through, we see that some of the retrograde message on some of these plans not coming to fruition right now is that they allow you some of the space to do some more of this internal work. Continuing to get clarification on these cards right now, the next card we are getting in our 5-card spread coming through right now is the 10 of Wands in its reversal. We've been seeing this card on repeat. I believe we saw it in yesterday's reading as well. So there is a desire right now for things to come to a point of completion. There are some things that you've been carrying that you're just feeling like the weight of bearing them is becoming too much of a burden. So even while you are putting a lot of assessment right now into some things that don't seem like they're panning out in the near distant future, you're also allowing this to be a moment of solitude to really determine what it is that you truly want for yourself in this moment. What is the direction that you desire to go into, so that you can allow for some of the cycles to come to a completion and put down these burdens that you may be feeling like you are having to do most of the work on or becoming too heavy to carry. Next card we are seeing in our 5-card spread is the 5 of Cups in its reversal. So what we like about this energy here is, again, even though there are some changes coming through as it relates to plans or circumstances that are requiring you to have more of a period of isolation right now and really asking what burdens that you want to carry and what don't. The reason we see that you're trying to put down these burdens is because you're trying to move out of a space of grief. That you're taking this time and opportunity and you're recognizing that some of the things that you've been carrying have been coming from a grief mentality, focusing on the negative, focusing on what is lost. And it is this desire to drop this burden, to let go of some of these hurts and pains so that you can focus on the positive that we see coming towards you right now. Maybe potentially even some positive situations or scenarios that are coming in the future that you're not even able to get kind of the excitement or the joy that they should be in, like, leading up to for you to experience right now, because you're doing so much work right now and trying to let go and shed some of this weight that you've been carrying. Final card for today's spread before we start drilling down into clarification points is the Queen of Cups, and we love her because she is in her upright. Going to feel a little bit different depending on whether you align to feminine or masculine energy, bearing in mind that this is not based on gender, but what you feel most aligned to. For feminine energy right now, even though this may be feeling like there is some period of isolation that you're going through, you are coming into a deeper sense of solitude. You are learning to move through some situations or circumstances that have been putting a lot of weight on you or creating a lot of fear, anxiety, or finding a way to self-regulate out of these moments when you may be feeling more of this heavy energy into the place of finding that functional positive path forward. And this is what is allowing you to get into a place of emotional regulation and emotional balance for yourself at this moment. While for masculine energy, what we're really seeing right now is there is a deep desire to be able to put down some burden, feeling like some plans are not necessarily coming to fruition, wanting to let go and shed some of this grief that you've been carrying, wanting to move into a space of positivity, specifically towards a manifestation of feminine right now that you feel is becoming emotionally available, is showing this ability to balance their own emotional self. And in this way, this energy is either working as a point of optimism right now as you go through these experiences and as you go through these moments. You may even be trying to take a page from these energies books right now so that you yourself can kind of allow yourself through this adversity that you're potentially feeling towards this manifestation of feminine that you feel is in this point of emotional balance. Continuing to get clarification on these cards right now, clarification between our Four of Wands in its reversal in combination with the Hermit. So some plans maybe not coming around the way that you would hope, feeling some frustration around plans right now, shifting of plans, maybe not necessarily being able to generate the joy that you typically would have around some plans that you have coming up. Specifically because we find you in this moment of Hermit energy, having this concentration, return to yourself, putting a lot of this solitude or these feelings of solitude coming into space, but also acknowledging and appreciating that there's a beautiful amount of territory here that you're discovering within your own self as you start to build this appreciation of your own solitude and what can be found in that point. May I please have one card to clarify? Two cards of clarification coming through right now. There is a call or a desire of patience that you are currently working on something that you requires some degree or level of solitude. And it is in this moment that this could be feeling like a bit of frustrating energy, because while we see here that there are some circumstances and situations that are requiring you to be patient, there is also this feeling right now that you are experiencing around some situations or circumstances that you feel are not necessarily at a place of resolution. A lot of your thoughts are on some things that you feel have not come to a point of resolution. And this is creating a bit of frustration point because we see here the desire to have some closure in these situations and circumstances, combined with the fact that you're being kind of forced or required to be patient in this moment in terms of the things that you feel that are working on that may help create this point of resolution for you at this moment. Continuing to get clarification on these cards right now between our Hermit card and the 10 of Wands in its reversal. So some feelings right now of isolation, of solitude, but really cultivating the ability or really being able to get some deeper insights as you go through these periods of solitude. Potentially also with this degree or desire to have to put down some burdens, anything you feel is not necessarily getting you to where you want to go or distracting you from your own path of internal work right now. May I please have one card to clarify? Clarification coming through right now with the Ace of Swords, which we love to see because there is some acknowledgement here that being able to build this sense and this ability and degree to find this deeper comfort, this deeper appreciation, this deeper journey within the self right now, and putting down the burdens that you feel are blocking you on this way. Letting these burdens be shed. This is where you truly feel your true triumph will be held. There's something really important coming through on this right now that is showing that there's something about your own ability to find that comfort in your own solitude with your own self that is going to lead to much more significant victories in the future. We see you moving with a lot of determination towards that point right now and shedding any burdens that are becoming too hard to bear, that are not allowing you the space to do this work. Continuing to get clarification on these cards right now between our 10 of Wands in its reversal in combination with the 5 of Cups in its reversal. So again, a moment right now that you are trying to put down the burdens, the things that have become too heavy, specifically around past circumstances and past situations that have been weighing on your mind, that you've been putting a lot of concentration on, that you are unable to move out of, wanting to let these things go so that you can concentrate on the positive and move forward in the most productive, positive way possible. May I please have one card to clarify? Clarification coming right now with the Fool. This is the acknowledgement that you feel that there are new cycles opening up for you at this moment. There are new opportunities. There are new paths. And it is this desire and this degree to move forward unburdened into these new opportunities and these new situations that you're seeing that is requiring you to really put a lot of concentration on how to let go of these past hurts, of these past pains. There's a desire not to want to have to carry them with you into this new journey. That is what you're trying to uncumber yourself on, because we see here that the path ahead of you is clear. The positive outcomes are around the corner. It's generating your own joy around them right now that is taking so much difficulty, because you're still carrying so much of this wounds and the griefs and the trauma from the past. Continuing to get clarification on these cards right now between our 5 of Cups in its reversal in combination with the Queen of Cups. Going to feel a little bit different depending on whether you align to feminine or masculine energy right now. For feminine, this is putting a lot of work in yourself right now to find this point, to master the ability to turn towards the things that are positive right now, and away from carrying this grief, away from focusing on the lack mentality, and instead moving back into a gratitude mentality and letting this support you as you continue to find this emotional regulation within you at this moment. While for masculine, this truly being a moment where you are feeling some degree and desire to want to move towards these positive outcomes with a lot of attention and direction towards a specific manifestation of feminine that you feel you have this emotional connection with, that you're working on building this emotional connection with, that you're trying to support this emotional connection with. And this is what is propelling you forward at this time to do this work on yourself. May I please have one card to clarify? Clarification coming. We've got 2 of the 10 cards out right now. This being a cycle of closure. There's something that the feminine is effectively letting go of right now that's allowing them to look towards the positive. And that is the observation that whatever they're leaving behind in the past does not necessarily have any possibility of being restored. There's something here with the feminine that recognizes that the way to move forward, the way to find the positive path forward, is to have to face just how impossible or just how unnecessary the old situations from the past that they've been carrying are. Allowing those to come to a point of closure. But this is taking a lot of emotional work for the feminine, because the feminine isn't simply concentrating on the positives in order to get into this place of emotional regulation. They're having to look at the negatives with a very clear eye and truly observe that the places that you've been carrying this doubt, the places you've been carrying this grief, you cannot necessarily see any functional path forward on. It's that observation. It's that observation right now of recognizing that just the thing that you've been mourning over does not necessarily have any solution, doesn't have any positive path forward. That is what is creating the sense of closure for feminine, get into a point of emotional balance right now and concentrate on what is truly meant for them. While for masculine right now, this is a moment that is potentially feeling very bittersweet, because we see here that you yourself are also going through a moment right now of trying to turn your opinions around, trying to look towards the positive with a manifestation of feminine that you feel is at a point of emotional regulation very heavily on your mind. And this is what is allowing for this sense of closure to happen. This is what is allowing this point of closure. This is what is allowing you to move forward, because you're recognizing that you need to let some things come to an end in your life. You need to be able to close out something that has potentially been causing some blockage away from this energy right now, so that you can truly move towards it in the degree that you would ideally desire. This is a lot of that self-work that we saw coming through in the cards yesterday for the masculine. So again, work on both the feminine and masculine side right now. For feminine, this is feeling like a much more internal journey, while for masculine, again, we still see that isolation point, some kind of separateness from the feminine energy here with the Hermit card, but doing a lot of work on the self right now, all for the higher hope of trying to get in connection with this feminine manifestation that you feel this emotional connection to. Continuing to get clarification on these cards right now. Clarification between our Seven of Pentacles in combination with the Five of Swords and the Ace of Swords. So a moment right now that is requiring patience. It's requiring time. This is not the kind of work that you can do overnight. Recognizing that this is something that is taking time for you as you process and go through it. Also, feeling the pain or frustration of desiring a faster point of closure, wanting to close out some cycles, wanting to create this sense of closure, asking yourself if you should go back to situations potentially to try to create this closure for yourself, really doing everything you can to create this closure so that you can put your time and energy into the places you feel it's truly valuable, because that's how you feel that you'll be able to move forward with success right now. May I please have one card to clarify? Clarification coming through right now with the Two of Pentacles in its reversal. So this is the moment. This is that struggle you're feeling. If you're feeling that hairiness from yesterday, this is where it's coming through, because you're recognizing that you're trying to do two things at once right now that's creating a bit of a blockage. You are desiring to return to situations to get some closure. You're feeling that pull. You're feeling that retrograde pull to go back to some things, to try to get to the bottom of them, to try to get more closure, to try to create new resolution, maybe even to open up some points of conflict again, to get a better point of resolution, but also trying to be patient as you feel and experience this at this moment. And realizing that you have a victory here, you're just trying to figure out how to move towards it. You recognize the victory is that choosing your priorities. You are feeling that moment of overwhelm. You are trying to deeply put down some of your obligations so that you can focus on what should be your priority at this moment. And you're working very tangibly to do that, even in the face of what feels like obligations that are pulling you in different directions right now. Continuing to get clarification on these cards right now, the recognition that there is a point of victory coming towards you right now as it relates to your new opportunities, your new experiences, your new approaches, your new tactics, that these new approaches that you're taking are where you feel your victory is going to be, and even feeling some experience of success already in taking this tactic for yourself at this moment. May I please have one card to clarify? Clarification coming right now with that Page of Swords. It's back. We got it a few days ago. It's back again. So this is the issue. Victory is on the horizon. There's an acknowledgement of what you need to do right now. There's an acknowledgement that you need to head off in this new direction. You need to move forward. You need to let this be a moment of moving into a new journey, into a new opportunity. But this is that sticky point. You are feeling a lack of confidence in truly embracing that journey. You're feeling that pull back to the old situations as well right now. Even while you have clear indications that victory is on the path forward. That victory is on the path forward, not on the path in the past. Because we see here that even with the path in the past right now, you recognize that there's something here that needs to be closed and moved away from. But still feeling some of that energy, still feeling that retrograde difficulty in doing it, letting it affect your confidence even in this moment that you see that path forward for yourself at this moment. Continuing to get clarity between these cards right now, between our Fool energy in combination with the Ten of Swords. There's a recognition right now of some things that are clearly over, clearly coming to a point of closure, and feeling this desire, this need, that at this moment is a time to move forward into these new opportunities, into these new possibilities. That if you haven't already started to, you certainly are just about to. May I please have one card to clarify? Clarification coming right now with, this is that energy. This is that feeling of exhaustion with the Seven of Wands in its reversal. Why are you saying that there are some things that are just completely like over, done with, can't necessarily be resolved, and you're feeling this new desire to move forward in new directions, taking new tactics, new approaches? It's because there's a point of exhaustion here. There's a point of feeling like you don't want to necessarily fight against it right now, even as you're going through this moment. So this is a lot of that retrograde hairiness that we're seeing here, because while we see a recognition right now of some cycles that have come to a point of closure and this need to move forward, there's a part of you that feels this point of exhaustion, that feels this point of tiredness, if you will, as you move forward from this point, recognizing that you're still in a point of recovery from some of these situations and circumstances from the past that you're moving away from now. You're moving into the path of least resistance, but you're also feeling a point of exhaustion, even as you are starting this new journey from some of the situations and circumstances that you're moving away from in the past. Continue, and that is why your confidence is flagging. Continuing to get clarification on these cards right now between our Two of Pentacles in its reversal in combination with the Page of Swords in its reversal. So really a time right now where you're focusing on your priorities. You're choosing your specific priority. You recognize that you are at a point of overwhelm and priority must be chosen, but also feeling some anxiety or fear as it relates to making a choice. Having some concerns about making the wrong choice, having some concerns about choosing the wrong priority if you were to drop one of your priorities at this moment. May I please have one card to clarify? Clarification coming right now with the Ten of Cups in its reversal. There is a deep fear here in making a choice in terms of your priorities, for fear of choosing the wrong path that will lead you potentially to the wrong outcome or to a less than desirable future outcome for yourself in this moment. This is a very important moment to really focus on your manifestation work, to really focus on your manifestation work at this time, because what we're really seeing here is a point of understanding that this is not something that you generate from other people, that you can generate this long-term future goal for yourself. You can move forward towards this. And in that way, you're not going to make the wrong choice as long as you keep your focus very much on that future outcome. We're seeing a lot here, a difficulty in planning ahead, planning for the future because of so much of a concentration on this very moment. Continuing to get clarification on these cards right now between our Page of Swords in its reversal and the Seven of Wands in its reversal. So, a moment of uncertainty, a moment of doubt coming to the surface right now, combined with a moment of exhaustion, of feeling a lot of this tangible overwhelm right now. It's feeling either physically or metaphysically right now that you just don't necessarily have that degree or excitement as it relates to wanting to push back, wanting to fight against things right now, and feeling a bit of this overwhelm that's robbing you a bit of your own confidence. May I please get one card to clarify? Clarification coming right now with the Three of Pentacles in its reversal. There's a feeling of destabilization that's occurring around you right now as well. There's a lot of addressing right now on looking at some situations and things that are not creating stable environments for you right now. And it's that point of acknowledgement of the fact that something around you, we're almost seeing a situation that needs to bear orientation right now on whether some of this exhaustion is coming from your own degree of exhaustion, from your own degree of feeling this lack of effort, or is it due to the fact that you're feeling this exhaustion because something around the circumstances or situation that you're in right now feels very unstable? Is creating a lot of immediate instability around you right now that you're kind of embodying in your own self, that is leading you to this point of feeling a degree of like lack of confidence in this moment. This is also giving a lot of orientation in terms of building. Look, what we're really seeing here, and these are two very strong cards to be closing with right now, because these are the two cards that we're truly seeing right now that need to be addressed. The card of the day coming through here right now, because what we're really seeing, and this is where we're seeing a lot of this hairy energy, is not only are you worried or feeling some point of destabilization right now, and some concerns around destabilization, but you're also experiencing some anxieties as it relates to the long-term future path or the long-term future possibilities right now. Having to go through both the immediate feelings of instability that are immediately impacting your own ability to truly focus on a positive outcome for the long-term future. Heavy retrograde energy today. May I please have one card to clarify? Final card for today's spread. It's leading to those deeper wounds and deeper heartbreaks coming to the surface. We just drew this card the other day. This is creating a moment right now that is having a deep impact on your heart space, really forcing you to recognize some feelings of loss, forcing you to recognize some deeper wounds. That's exactly kind of where we started from in the beginning, with that feeling of not being able to get the positivity up required for some of the events that should be sources of positivity going forward from here. This is why you're doing a lot of internal reflection right now on your own anxieties about the stability of the immediate moment and the long-term future plans that are opening up some much deeper heart wounds that are also taking account right now. So heavy energy day, but again, a lot of concentration in terms of building a plan for yourself, trying to find those points of stability, allowing, especially for the feminine, a bit easier because there's something about this point of acknowledgement that's helping you get in regulation of your own heart space. While for masculine, this could be feeling like a bit more difficulty because a lot of this is feeling like a lot of burdensome weight to carry, even as you have a focus on a feminine that you feel may be doing it to a better degree or capacity. Bottom of the deck on this reading right now, Six of Cups. What we're really seeing here is there's an additional issue coming through right now, in the sense that for much of the energy that we're seeing right now, we're noticing that the masculine and feminine to a certain extent are having some of these disconnects right now. And there is a deeper desire right now, or concentration on not necessarily, even while we see a lot of this like isolation occurring in this moment, there's a lot of focus right now on positive karmic connections, on what is a positive karmic connection, what is going to lead to long-term positive karmic connections. This could even be some anxieties right now about not feeling in connection with certain positive karmic connections, or karmic connections that require healing or a desire to heal them right now. There's something we're seeing coming through on this, that it's not necessarily just the fact that a lot of this energy is going through these feelings right now, but feeling like they may be isolated or alone as they're experiencing them right now. That is also adding to some of the grief that we're seeing, because a lot of these future plans potentially are very much wrapped up in this desire to have these positive karmic connections in a supportive environment around you. And we see that a lot of that work is happening right now to get to a place of acknowledging some heartbreaks that are potentially still present or existent around some connections, and really asking, even as we see you moving away from certain connections that are not necessarily showing any sign of healing, you know, where those positive connections will be and how to continue to work towards materializing them. That is our daily collective read for the day. I want to thank you guys so much for being here and sharing it with me. Just a reminder, if you would like to book a private reading with me, you can book one on my website, graystrega.com. My private readings are done over video with the option of a recording sent to you afterwards. And if you are a subscriber to my TikTok, you can take 10% off any of my services when you pay. Just mention your subscriber ID at the point of payment. Also, please keep in mind that booking a reading with me on my site is a 2-step process. You have to book the reading and then you have to pay for the reading. Please make sure that you do both steps in order to secure your reading. Also, please remember that I will never, ever, 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 ever message you for a reading. I will never ask you to, I will never inbox you. I will never DM you. The only way to have a reading with me is to book one through my website. I want to thank you guys so much for having this reading with me here today, and we will do this again tomorrow.